Morning to you and welcome to the breakfast show on channel 614 on Mopless Cable TV and CACTV on Facebook and YouTube. To my lovers, to our very interested, whoever that is interested to sponsor this program, I mean to say, just follow those links I just mentioned to drop your messages. You also can drop a call, can put a call through on the number that you are going to see on the screen soon. My name is Toke Bravo. I am glad I am on set this morning because once I am alive, of course, I would love to do what I love to do best. Thank God for life. Thank God for the gift of my voice because without the gift of my voice, I can't be on the set this morning. God has ever been faithful to his own, and thank God for the peace in our country, Nigeria. Truthfully, someone might say there are security issues, some areas in the country here and there, but thank God, you can't compare it to what some countries are going through right now in terms of war. And whatever it is, we pray that our federal government, all the measures they have put in place to curb this menace arising because of insecurity, terrorism, banditry, and the rest in the country, we pray that God will enhance their effort to make sure that all this terrorism is a thing of the past in our country. I am Toke Bravo. I am glad to be on the show today. Even though peace is not here as usual, on Tuesdays, I always run the show alone, but I'll miss him anyways because whenever he's around, the conversation is more intense, more enlightening, and more fun because two is better than one. But whatever it is, we're still going to have fun on the show today. I am Toke Bravo. Don't go anywhere while we take a short break. We'll be back. Yes, welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. This to the breakfast show on channel 614 on Moplex TV. Go get your Moplex cable TV. Moplex cable TV is just like the other cable TV that you have, and it's cheaper because it's our own. It's our own. They can't overcharge us, of course. So when you get your Moplex TV, you can get to watch us live. And if you don't have Moplex TV, of course, you can always watch on Facebook and YouTube at CACTV on those handles. Just check us out and watch live while we are on set. You can watch live. We're going straight to the lucky stories that made it to the front pages of the national dailies. I am starting with the Guardian this morning. Concerning school feeding of 10 million kids, federal government in dilemma as inflation spikes meal budget to 540 billion naira. So they are actually in dilemma, thinking either to stop or to go out. But of course, this is there is no way going back on this because this is a promise that the government has given to school children. It's happening in some states, western states, northern states, eastern and southern states. The federal government have been taking this upon themselves, but because of inflation, the budget has been raised to 540 billion naira. So you see, the federal government also is feeling the heat of this inflation. They shouldn't be in dilemma. I would advise they should put on their thinking cap and see how we can get out of inflation. It is just compulsory for them to do so. Moving on, federal government has reached 75% of domestic borrowing target for 2024, says DMO. Kwara repatriates beggars allegedly keeping arms for criminals. This has been a trend since the 90s. We have seen where beggars, persons with disability are being used because of their vulnerability I don't want, okay, don't let's just say because of their vulnerability, because they always have a choice to decline. Labour threatens strike, issues May 31st ultimatum for new minimum wage deadline. Electricity workers issues 2-week ultimatum on TCN unbounding tariff hike. Jonathan waits into Wike Fubara field as Clark knocks Ganduje Damagum for alleged complicity. Kano governor releases back and forth because we have to balance the discussion. The Labour Party, the NLC Labour Congress wants 615,000. The federal government has proposed 100,000. They have rejected. Like I said yesterday, the government and the Labour Congress, why do I keep saying Labour Party, have to just reach a compromise and then give us a feasible price, a feasible minimum wage. They already know the rate of the inflation, so the government has to be up and do it, and the NLC also shouldn't overdo things. That is where the compromise can come in. Bandits in military uniform abduct 20 in Abuja. 2 attackers captured. That's coming from the police. Estates by pump action. Others weapon for vigilantes. We have been tasked to fix police vehicles. That's resident. Okay, on that particular headline, I think that terrorists using the uniform of military is a very bad sign, because the unsuspecting citizens can just fall into their hands without any remorse. You know, when you feel that this is a policeman, this is a soldier that you can talk to, not knowing that you are actually being apprehended or being kidnapped by a terrorist. God help Nigeria. UBA at 75. How we grew customer base to 45 million naira. That is coming from the General Marketing Director. Federal government reviews 14 trade subjects syllabi, decries teachers shortage. I need 35 different visas to travel within Africa. Dangote. Of course, you will need visas. Wow. But I think with his status, with his vast empire, and then his face, it shouldn't be so hard for him to get this. Youth eats jackpot with Notecoin in crypto trading. Token gets high profile listing on Binance major exchanges. DMO raises 4.9 trillion naira for ways and means securitization. De-escalates tensions in Rivers. Jonathan appeals to Wike Fubara. That's on page 17 of the Vanguard newspaper. EFCC under fire as Oba of Benin alleges bribery cover-ups. Electricity and minimum wage. NLC TUC mobilized for strike. That's on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. If you want details on that, you can grab your Vanguard newspaper. On POS, anger, frustration over high cost of cash withdrawals as operators gradually take over banks, ATM functions. Customer relates and experiences in states. Bank sells cash to us. Delta POS operators. At global press conference as UBA clocks 75. That's the picture of some UBA directors on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Federal government partners Federal government partners financial bodies to lift 50 million Nigerians out of poverty from now till 2027. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. From Accountability Index will enhance management of public funds. That's coming from Okwasa. If you want to read that, it's on the page 20 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu, United Nations, African Union, Arab leaders mourn as Iranian President Raisi dies in helicopter crash. That also is on the page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. And on sport, Man United want Osimhen, our own Osimhen. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we still have some more papers for you. Thank you for staying tuned. This is CA Breakfast Show, CA Channel's Breakfast Show on 614 Mopless Cable TV. And we are still on the front pages of the national dailies. We are checking out the stories lucky enough to be on the front pages of our national dailies. Here we have the Nation newspaper. States will continue to get electricity regulatory license. That is coming from the Minister of Power. At 75, UBA sustains market lead with 18 trillion naira customer deposits. No judge should bow to public opinion, says the CJN. Why Fubara? Wike should end feud now by Jonathan. That's on the page 2 of the Nation newspaper. And here on the banner headline we have abortion rising among married women. So on the repayment process, because this is there should be a continuity in this. Don't think that you can get this money and squander it or forget to pay. It has been properly founded, it has been properly launched. So make sure you check the requirements and the repayment procedures. Read through, read thoroughly, ask questions before you delve into getting a student loan. Labor returns for minimum wage talks. Iran holds memorial for president, foreign minister, other crash victims. That's on page 29 of the Nation newspaper. And lastly, we have the Punch. Food import hits 3 trillion naira over flooding insecurity. That's coming from the CBN. Judge's salary reviewed 17 years ago, says the Attorney General to the Federation. Wike Fubara first off can destabilize Niger Delta. The statement is coming from the ex-president, Goodluck Jonathan. On minimum wage still, Labour insists on May 31st deadline as talk resumes today. Consigning students' loan, 1.2 million beneficiaries listed as scheme begins Friday. Wow. Students in 226 tertiary institutions to benefit. Admission letter, NIN, BVN needed. So these are some of the requirements, but I believe that when you read deep, get to know all that you need to know concerning this student loan scheme, then you would know if you will be interested in getting the loan. World leaders mourn as Iran probes president minister's death. UBA will meet 500 billion naira capital base before deadline. That's coming from the CFO. Lagos seals for 840 event centers. That's coming from the commissioner. Tariff hike. Workers lock out minister. Issue 14-day ultimatum. Wow. This is all that we can take on the newspaper front pages reading. So let's go on a break. When we come back, we have stories making the rounds for you. continued. The Oba of Benin has accused the EFCC of bribery and corruption. He actually alleged that some of palace officials that were found culpable of fraud some years back with glaring evidences were handed over to the EFCC, but the EFCC handled the case with kid gloves, that they allowed that these people were released shortly after, even though there were glaring evidences that they committed the crime. The Oba made this statement when the director of EFCC the director of EFCC in Benin came to him on Monday. He made all these allegations against the EFCC. The Oba alleged that some EFCC operatives allegedly handled the case with kid gloves, which led to the release of the culprit a few years ago. The monarch, who did not name the palace officials, expressed shock that the EFCC investigators allegedly swept glaring evidence of fraud against them, the palace officials, of course, under the carpet. While tasking the commission to fight crime without fear or favor, the Oba added, "We want to draw your attention to one or two grey areas in your operations. No matter how much you try to support the EFCC from the palace, it is very difficult because they seem to listen to other parties. What I have been told is that they take instruction from the highest bidder." I just believe that the EFCC would debunk this, and then let's see how it goes. People are already asking questions that the EFCC have been known to get back some money laundered, some fraud, some money that was recovered from fraud and money laundering and the rest. A lot of people have been asking questions that how do they do this money? Do they put it back into the federal purse? Do they return it, or do they keep it in their office? But recently, this new administration of the EFCC boss, they returned some money. Of course, it was all around the papers. But whatever the case might be, EFCC fights crime. Their duty, their first obligation is to make sure that they curb the menace of crime, bribery and corruption. So they shouldn't be caught in insane. They shouldn't be. It's just like a pastor preaching against fornication, and you find same pastor doing same. How does that make sense? So if the Oba has come out to say this, I believe that he has evidences, and this is according to him. He used a case that is directly from the Oba's palace, which means that he is in the know of every evidences, everything that happened in that event. If the EFCC is still going to maintain their names and standard, even though a lot of people do not believe in them anymore in Nigeria, because people believe that the only people that get punished are people who do not have big money to get big lawyers. The people who get punished are these so-called Yahoo boys that have not even found their feet on the floor, while the politicians who steals in billions would walk out. And what we hear is that they have forfeited some properties, they have gotten this from them, they have collected some amount of money out of the money they laundered and all. But when it happens to a poor man, the poor man will smell the fence of a jail. This is not fair. The EFCC have to go through their manifestos, whatever they use, to check if they have been on track. If they have been on track. Yaya Bello as a case study is still out there. And a lot of us will just hear on the paper how it ended, how it's going. At the end of the day, we might not even get to see, because a lot of stories that concerns big names, big titles are always been swept under the carpet. What's your take on this? If you're watching live on Facebook, you can actually drop your message on Facebook. drop your comment on Facebook. Those of you that usually watch on Facebook, I don't know why you don't drop comment. Is it that you don't like the conversation? Is it that you understand the conversation so much that you don't even think you need to drop a comment? Because those comments is what we want to see. We really want to get your feedback. That's that on the story of the Oba. I'll go on a quick break as usual. When I come back, I have more stories for you. It's still the CACTV Breakfast show, and this story, Peace and I actually talked about this story yesterday. Excuse me. We talked about this story, and this news surfaced today on almost all the dailies. We were talking about our refineries, that we have 4 refineries in Nigeria. Why aren't they working? Why aren't they working? Peace was of the opinion that he does not believe that the refineries are going to work. We are solely going to rely on Dangote's refinery, and because Dangote has to do business, is a businessman, we shouldn't expect too much reduction on the fuel price. But I was of the opinion that I believe that the mechanical issues that especially that of Port Harcourt refinery was having has been cleared, as we saw the video. But truthfully, there have been a number of times that the federal government will say, oh, this place will start operations in this month, the next month, the 3rd month, the 5th month, and through a lot of people are tired. A lot of people are tired. Here is another date coming from the National Public Relations Officer of the Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria, Chief Ukadi Kechinedu. He is the one telling us now that this refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery, may start operation of 210,000 barrels per day by the end of July. According to him, he said 99%, the refinery is at a stage of 99%, the all mechanical work, technical works, and according to him, he said a lot of materials have been changed, that most of the things there now are new, according to the National Public Relations Officers of the Officer of the Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMA. Chief Ukadike Chinedu. Please, let's mark the name, because if I have to read the comments underneath this story, I believe you are going to laugh, because Nigerians are not getting it at all. They are not taking it at all. They are of the opinion that, please, just rest. If you want to start, don't even tell us, just start already, because you have told us more than 100 times. Some people say 100, some people say 50, some people say 80 times. You know, Nigerians now, when it comes to sarcasm, we are good at it. Okay, this is Adania Timothy. He said this is the 15th time the Port Harcourt refinery NNPC has begun operation and refining oil. Nigerian Brown Envelope Media is a happy, oh my God, this is, he said, is a happy APC propaganda megaphone. Wow, wow, wow. July which year? Cause January 2024 never even reached. My goodness, this is funny. This is funny. This is funny. Wow. Okay, there is a picture of a television station reporting that the refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery, will start operation by January 2024. This is funny, but then truthfully it is not funny, because when federal government start going back and forth on their promises, they are actually telling the populace to stop believing in them. And when citizenry do not believe in their government anymore, you know, when the center cannot hold, when people that we are supposed to trust, when people we are supposed to uplift and respect keep giving us failed promises, you know what that means for us as a nation. Our government should step up. They should step into the right shoes, take the actions that is needed to be taken, so that things can start forging ahead. If truthfully the refinery, Port Harcourt refinery, has been fixed, we shouldn't be waiting or having elongated dates and empty promises. They should just start already. They should start already. At least once the cost of transportation is minimal to that of food and all, I believe we will have a better place. On that note, don't forget to drop your comment on the CA Channels TV on Facebook and YouTube, wherever you're watching from. And if you are going to sponsor this program, please leave us a message on the number on the screen, or you leave a message on our Facebook pages and YouTube pages. I love you, and my name remains Toke Bravo. I'll see you tomorrow by God's grace. Stay blessed.